Hello, welcome to WealthX Africa. If you can hear me, say hi. Hello, welcome to WealthX Africa. If you can hear me, say hi. Okay.
Hi guys, the lens that you are looking at right now has more than 5,000 5-star reviews, and according to
Sorry, we are having network challenges, and we'll come up soon. We'll come up soon with okay.
Password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It's 9 1 2 3 2.
Ete.
Maybe I think this network have this last issue. 1 2 3 2 9.
Okay, what you connect?
So I like that.
Okay. Welcome to WealthX Africa. Today we want to go. We want to go on our. Let me share the link to the audience so that we can start fully now. Let me share the link to the audience. We are live now. Let me share the link to the audience. Welcome to WealthX Africa. Today we want to continue on our builders operating system, and we all know that we've started from the first one in the builder operating system. We started from the first one, which is build, which is C. We started from C, and like we know, C is the first one in our architecture, and we understand that if you don't see, you cannot have, if you don't have vision, you cannot see. And then when you see, you need to move. And also when you move, you need to get access, that is position. And when you get access, we are moving to the third one this week. We are moving to the third one this week. We are moving to the third one this week, which is position. So we are moving to the third one this week, which is position. So I want us to, if you can hear me in the house, say hi. You can hear me, say hi. Okay, good. For some of us that you can hear me, we understand that in our builders operating system, which is BOS, our first thing is BOS. So our first pillar is C. Pillar 1, C. We've treated pillar 1, which is C. And if you don't see, there's nothing you can do. So ability to see what others don't see, that is ability to perceive what others don't see, the vision. That is what we spoke about in pillar 1. And then in pillar 2, we spoke about Pillar 2, we spoke about movement. So not everybody that sees move, but for those that are able to move, they are not found themselves in regret. And then pillar 3, we spoke about position. So if you have not seen some of those things, you have to go back to the video in the channel and see pillar 3, which is position, and see pillar 3, position. And then today we are going to pillar 4. Today we are going to pillar 4, which is move. I want some of us to join us. If you are still online, join us. Want to pillar 4. So the pillar 4 is move. So if you can hear me, just comment to the group that you can hear me. If you can hear me, just comment to the comment section so that I can know that we all are here. If you can hear me, just comment to the comment section so that I know that we are here. So see gave you ability to see, while move gave you ability to position yourself. So created access. So when you get access, you understand that there are many things for you to do. So we understand that as a leader, we need to understand that position alone is not all. So we need to understand that when you have position, you understand that position enough is not enough. So you position to do something. If you are not doing something as a result of the position you have, you just wasted the access. So C gave you the ability to see vision, while movement gave you ability to move, to change the location. Position gave you access. And then today we are moving to the pillar 4, which I call build. Pillar 4, I call pillar 4 build. So just like many of us we've known before. So most Africans are consumer, and then we beseech us to be a creator. So most Africans are consumer because we are not building anything. So we are building so little. So most Africans are consumer, and then instead of asking that how much money should I make, so the builders will say, okay, we buy product of someone that have built. You know, without Dangote building refinery, maybe we may not see enough fuel to drive our car. Without someone think about that car, maybe you don't have anything to ride on. So without someone build your house, maybe you have nothing to live inside. So those are the things that we are using on daily basis as a result of someone built it. So in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, we know that many of us are not really building things. We consume a lot. So we listen to some things on social media. How many of those social media came from Africa? Many of us, we are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we are on Telegram. And all those things, many of them does not come from Africa. So what is Africa building? Are we building anything? What are we building? So on digital market, we are not building. We are not really building a lot. So some of us, we are trying to build some things, like we have some Nigerian in the fintech space. That's a very good one. But we still want to encourage us to build a lot of things. Because if we cannot build, we cannot see some things. So that is it. So build is the deliberate process of transforming opportunity into the value by solving real problems, serving real people, and creating solutions that can continue to produce impact beyond the builder's efforts. So we understand that without this, we may not be able to do something. So build is very matter. So, and why build matters, the see transform your perception. When you see, it transform your perception. And when you learn to recognize value before others. So when you see transform your perception, how you see things. You know, many people can see an abandoned building. Someone that equipped with C, they can see a warehouse, they can see a shopping mall, they can see so many things. And then develop your momentum. So many people can see, but how many people acted on what they saw? So see, change your perception, build, change your momentum, and then position, change your access. And then when you build, when you see and you move and you position and you refuse to do anything, that is, you waste all other process. And that's why we need build. We need build because if we don't build, we just waste our access. If we don't build, we just wasted our movement. If we don't build, we just wasted what we saw initially, and we may end up regretting about it. So we need to understand that as a leader, we need to understand that we have 4 things that we need to do as a result of building. So we need to solve problem. We need to serve people. We need to systemize, and also we need to scale. So that is the 4 dimensions of build. 4 dimensions of build. 4 dimensions of build. Let me just write it. 4 dimensions of build. Solve, serve, systematize, or systemize, and scale. We understand that humans have a lot of problems. As a race, as an individual, as a nation, as a country, as a city, we have different problems. And as a builder, we don't really look at the problem and see it as a problem. We don't complain as a builder. You look at any inefficiency and you begin to look for, what can I do about this thing? What can I do about this matter? This matter is going on. What can I do about it? You begin to look for inefficiency. You begin to look for loopholes. You begin to look for what are the things that people doesn't really take serious about some things. So when you look at the market, you are not looking at the market just to buy something. You are looking at the market to see what is going wrong there so that you can fix it. When you look at the economy, you don't look at the economy by complaining about it. You look at how you can contribute to it. When you look at education sector, you don't look at it like every other one. You look at what it is, what can you contribute to these things. So that is it. We solve human problem. That is the first stage of build. In the 4 dimension of build, the first one is solve. You look to solve human problem. That is the primary assignment of everyone that wants to build. Let's say we have house deficit in Lagos now. Someone that's equipped with build, they will look at, okay, what is the percentage of the homeless people in Lagos? What are the things that they are doing that are contributing to the fact that they are homeless? You begin to solve those problems. You put the statistics together and you begin to say, okay, build, you have this thing, and you have to solve some problem regarding housing in Lagos, housing in your city, housing in your estate. So some of those things as they require by the unmet need and inefficiency and things that cause many people to be frustrated, you look at those things and you begin to act on those things. So what problem am I genuinely positioned to solve? That is it. Every builder needs to ask themselves that question. What problem am I genuinely to solve? What problem is there in my country that I need to solve? What problem in my state? What problem in my company that I need to solve? What problem in my house that I need to solve? Because if you cannot build your house, you cannot build your community, you cannot build any community that you belong to, you cannot build your nation. So what problem can I solve? So most people complain about inconveniences. So, but everyone that want to build, we don't complain about inefficiencies. We don't complain about those things. We act regardless. We act regardless upon what all those things is about. We act, and that is what we do as a build. We act on everything. And let's move to serve. So if you don't give yourself to serve others, so you may not be able to do some things. You need to serve. And service, I wrote here, who benefits from what I build? if you want to do business, you need to understand that you need to look at the problem that people have and then begin to design a solution for their problem. So many people started business not because they saw that there's an inefficiency somewhere. They started business because they love something. And then you cannot start business because you love something alone. You need to look for the gap in the market, then create a solution to solve the problem. That is the best way to start a business. So many people start business because I love doing things. You cannot love doing things and start business in that regard. You may be the only one that will patronize your business, but look for the inefficiency in the market, look for the gap in the market, then begin to create a product, begin to create a service that will meet that inefficiency, that will meet that gap in the market. And that's a best and efficient way to start business. Okay, if you want to build anything, you look for the gap, then you begin to design a product, or you begin to design a service to render to those people to meet the gap. And that is where the serve come. So people that benefited from what you build are the one that you serve. So every product has user, every customer, every service has customer, and that is it. Every builder have those things. And if you build, you have many people in Nigeria, they not that they don't build, not that they don't serve, but they serve very few people. They solve small problem. Maybe they are selling one or two things. Then they serve very few people in their community. And this is where the business is. They don't go beyond this level. They solve small problem. Maybe they are selling one or two things in their local shop, and they serve people in their community, but they don't go beyond that level. Why? Because their business, they are aiming to just do business and hit and shop. They don't really want to grow bigger in their business, and they don't really see bigger things in their business. And that's why before you build, you need to see as far as you can see. If you don't see beyond your nose, you cannot create a big business. If what you can see is 50,000 naira business, 100,000 naira business, 1 million naira business, you cannot build beyond that. So what you can see, what you can build is depend on what you can see. That's why we challenge you to see. First, because if you cannot see a big business that's going to leave a lot, that's going to leave legacy for you, you may not be able to build the kind of business that we want everybody to build. So these last two, systemize and scale. If you want to come to this level, you need to understand that for your business to grow big and have legacy, you need to systemize, and then you need to plan for scale. So who are the people that systemize their business? Every small business owner, they are still not be able to systemize their business, what they are building. So systemize works in a way that you can be delivered consistently. You turn randomness to consistency. So once you have your good product is not enough. You have to be consistent in rendering that service. You automate it, you systemize it, and that is how you become effective in what you are building. So when you automate those things, you systemize it, you become what you can build about it. So anyone can make one sale, but builder has how to make concurrencies, how to make sales, how to make 10 sales, 100 sales, 1,000 sales, 1 million sales. That is how you systemize your sales. So what are you selling? Just you can if you are online, you can comment what you are selling. Anything that you are selling, you can systemize it. You can systemize whatever that you are selling. So don't just focus on one-time selling. Focus on how you can sell over and over and over again. Focus on how you can sell over and over again. Because if you can't sell, you may not be able to make money, because selling equals income. Without selling, you may not be able to make money. And then how do you systemize when you are facing some things in your business? You document everything that you are doing regarding your business. You document it, you record it, you create a library for your business, your obstacles, your win, your lose. You document everything so that when you are about to hand over your business to the incoming generation, they are not going to start trial and error. They are going to do some things like that. And then the last one is scale. And the last one is scale. Can what I build become and bigger than me? So scaling means that you are not building the business for only you to eat and drink. You are building the business for your incoming generation. You are building the business to scale after you, to scale in your presence, and it will go bigger than what you can think or imagine. Think beyond your personal success. Think beyond yourself. You have to think beyond your family member. Think beyond everything that you can use. Think beyond anything, because if you cannot think beyond all those things, you may not be able to think skills. So I have the build framework that I want to run us through. So 4 dimensions of build, just like I said, 4 dimensions of build. Number 1 is solve a real problem. If you want to build, solve a real problem. What problem are you looking to solve in your locality? What problem are you looking to solve in your community? Just think of any problem that you can solve. And how do you know a problem? So many times, things that give us, things that make us angry has tendency to become a business opportunity. If anything makes you angry, maybe you walk into a restaurant, the way they attended to you, the way they serve you, you don't really like it. Maybe hospitality, the way they welcome you, you just think anything that makes you angry can be a business opportunity for you. So look for a problem that you can solve. Look for a problem that you can solve. That's number 1. Number 2, serve. Who are the one benefiting from this business? Who are the one benefiting from what I'm creating? Who are the one benefiting? So think about a community that's going to benefit from what you are trying to build. Think about someone that's going to benefit from anything that you are building. Or think about a country that can benefit from what you are building. Like when someone created TikTok, created Facebook, the entire universe, entire world benefited from it. So what are you trying to build, and who are the people that are going to benefit from it? So let's go to the build framework and how to really build a thing. Build framework. Let's go to build framework. How you can build a thing. Number 1 is B. Build framework. B. So I have this build framework. Begin with value. You can never build anything that's not of value. So if you don't see value, you don't position yourself for value, you cannot build a value. So start with the problem, not the product. Identify what people genuinely needed. Value begins with usefulness. Do not begin by asking, what can I sell? Ask this question: what needs to be served? What needs to be solved? So when you begin with value, you begin to create some things that people need most. You begin to create some things that when people begin to use it, what are the inefficiencies? What are the things that are missing? Start with value. Begin with value. B means begin with value. B, build framework. Begin with value. Now, when you begin with value, you understand that build framework means begin with value. You have to start with value in mind. What value do you want to create in the market? What value do you want to render? That is the first thing. When you want to build anything, begin with value. What value do you want to start with? And number two, understand the need. Understand the need of your community. Understand the need. You have to understand the need. Understand the need. Build framework. Understand the need. So let's say you want to build, what can we build? Let's say in Lagos, what can you build? Let's assume that you want to build transport business. What are the needs in the transport business in Nigeria? So compare the transport in Lagos with the developed countries. We are still lagging behind in Lagos, and most of the African countries are still lagging behind. So let's say you want to build a business in a transport business. There's value there, yes. There's value in transport business, yes. So understand the need. The need to start maybe train or comfortable transport business. So you already understand the need. You understand the need, and then you begin with value. Number three, improve continuously. Now let's say you are the one that came with the initiative for BRT bus, but you don't stop there, because if you compare BRT bus with what we have in the Western world, it is still lagging behind. It is not up to standard. What do you need to do? You improve continuously. You don't stay until you get perfection. Improve continuously. You listen, you build, you listen to feedback, you build, you listen to the feedback, you build. And number four, you leverage system. So this one is improve. Improve continuously. Then number five, which is L, leverage the system. And number six, develop and scale. Develop and scale. So this is the build framework. Whenever you remember build, you don't just remember build as a letter, you remember build as what they represent for you. So begin with the value, understand the need, improve continuously, leverage the system, then develop and scale. That's what we have for us in the build system. So build means that you have to solve the problem, serve people, systematize, scale, and then we want to understand that. And that is what we have for us today. So I have one or two things for us that I want to share with us. You need to understand that when we are talking about build, it is not something that we just pick from the book that we are asking us to do. When you look at how everything was created in the Bible, God created by building some things. He built this, he built this, he built this, and your assistance to what we can do today is as a result of when someone built. Noah built an ark for God, and saved the entire human race as a result of what he built. Joseph built the store. He built economic system, and he was able to preserve some people in his country, right? So Egyptians were saved because Joseph built. And then we understand that build has to do with vision, preparation, construction, value, influence, and legacy. So when you build, you have the vision and you have the preparation to build, and then you have the construction, value, and influence. So we understand that if you cannot build, you cannot become mastery in whatever that you are doing. So where are we trying to build some things in our life? No, it is not easy to become a builder, and it's not an easy thing to become a builder. At some point in life, you retract back to becoming anything apart from builder, because there are many challenges that comes as when you want to become a builder. Let's say you want to become a builder, you want to have a ministry, you want to have a business, you want to have a career, you want to build anything. There are many challenges that are attached to it, and then you need to understand that those things, they are there because that is how everything is. Intention, destruction always follows intention. So that is what I learned. So whenever you think about you want to do something big, whenever you think about you want to do something great, so something will come to disrupt what you wanted to do, and then those things, they are trying their best to get you out of the way so that you are unable to build. So you need to understand that, and you need to understand that at some point in my life, I was building one or two things, and right now I'm building a business regarding elevator business. So I'm building some things, and at some point, as I was doing some things, some people are trying to do some things. So many people, we understand that when you are building your business, when you are building your career, it is not an easy stuff. We need to understand that. So, and that is that about that. So we need to know that when you see a problem, you move and you enter in an environment, you build. That is why build as this thing. So we need to understand that. So without wasting much of our time, we are going to see the next one after build, which is own. So when you build, not everybody that build one thing or the other, not every one of them finally benefited from what they built. You know, Steve Jobs built Apple in the early days. He got evicted from the same company he built, and thankfully he was able to come back just because he was able to build another company that Apple took over the company, and that's why he could be able to come back to the first company that he built initially. So not everybody has that opportunity. So if you build, are you build smartly? Are you building and all your effort is equally rewarded? Not everybody that built benefited from what they built. Some people, you are seeing them on screen and you are calling them some names, but what they built, they don't really build and benefited from what they built. They built for someone else. So we are going to talk about that one next week, and how to own whatever that you build. How to own whatever you build. How to own whatever you build. So because of the time that we have limited time today. We are still going to release another video on this build. We are going to record another video on this build, which is going to be very detailed apart from this one. So we are going to do that during the midweek. So don't forget that in the builder's operating system, we are trying to equip our life, because if you have an Android phone, it's running on Android phone. You have a Samsung phone now, it's running on Android. And if you have an iPhone, it's running on iOS. So also our life, if you want to have a greater impact in life, we need to have an operating system that is running our life, and that is what I call builder's operating system. So it is not one, it is 7. And if you just get one out of 7, it is not complete until you get all the 7. So for some of us that seeing this video for the first time, look into this channel, go and see the previous video. We have spoke about see, we have spoke about move, we have spoke about position, and then today we spoke about build, how to build something remarkable in life. And you can't just start building. You need to look for the inefficiency in the market. You need to look for the gap. You need to look for the need and start building accordingly. Like the way we build, we are building our business in the elevator industry, and we still look some gap in other businesses that we are looking to partner with some investors to build. So we are not going to discuss that one here. So there are many gaps in the market. There are many things in Nigeria that you can build. We have power problem. We have so many problems in Nigeria. So you can think of which of those things that you can think and start building on. So we have some people in fintech space. Nigeria, we are doing so well in fintech space. We have about couples of companies that are doing well in fintech space. Let's take on into another sector in Nigeria also. Let's start building some things, because Africa needs to rise again. Africa needs to start building, because we cannot continue to become the dumping ground for every innovations in the world. Africa needs to rise and shine, and Africa needs to start building one more time. So without wasting much of our time, by next week we are going to speak about own, how to own legally whatever you built. It is not everyone that built actually own what they built. So how to own rights, how to own everything that you have built, and how to do it in such a way that as you are building, you are becoming the ownership of what you